we are doing very well with CSS here. So let's look at today let's today look at something else that is known as text alignment, and then we are going to go ahead and look at something we call floating elements on your page. So great, let's jump right into it. So look at this text. If this was a big block of text, then you could imagine that here we could be having a lot of ragged text going ahead, going along here and all that. And maybe sometimes you want to do some other things with your text, like center them. You see, the way you do a Word document or maybe something like that, you want to sometimes center the text or for some reason, and then all that kind of stuff. How do you do that on HTML? Well, or CSS. Now, the best thing to do this is CSS, definitely, and that is what I want to show you today. Let's say, for instance, we want to do some alignment on this text. Now, the align attribute just tells our browser that I want you to take the text that is inside of the tag that I have selected, and then put it either align it to the left or to the right, or to center it, or to justify it. We are going to see each of those elements today. So let's target our P tag here. P, we have P here. This is where we were working last time. And then I can do something like text align. We have what is called text align, and let me just start by aligning it left. This one by default is aligned to the left, so refresh and nothing changes. What if I change this to right? So when I do right, what's going to happen is that the right side is going to have a straight line. So this is going to do a straight line where you have told it to align the text. If I do center here, then it is going to create a straight line to the center. So both ends are not going to be you can see here it's aligning everything here. The left is not a line, so it's not straight, is ragged. The right is also ragged, but then the center is straight. So there is something else that we call justify, and this is what I love the most. So justify creates a straight line to the left, a straight line to the right, and therefore your text looks very balanced. But be careful, justify may sometimes cause your text to look broken, or maybe adding a lot of space between your elements. So if justify works for the kind of document you're building, then you can go ahead and use justify. Else just stick with the other three elements. You can decide to do left or right or centered. So we have those four elements, those four types of text alignment that you can explore, and go ahead and do that now. Now, how about floating stuff? You may need to do something like, I want to float this. Let me actually do this so that I can demo this well. Let me go back to my HTML and add some image on top of this paragraph tag. So to save time, I'm just going to copy an image that we already have here and put it here. Right, save this and refresh, and nice. You see, I have an image now on top of my my paragraph tag. What if I don't want this? I want this paragraph to come to the right side of this image. How do I do that? Now, I know you've started imagining how you can do this. Maybe I don't know what you're thinking about. Copy this. You are not going to do anything on CSS on HTML here. Everything is going to be handled out of the box by our CSS. How awesome is that? So on the paragraph tag, you can go ahead and target something else and say, let me actually target my image. So I can give my image a class here so that I don't clutter my CSS a lot. So image, let me say a class of Karani, something like that. So I can copy this Karani thing, put it here as a class, and then start styling it. The first thing, I want to say float, and I want to float it left. When that is done, I refresh this. This is going to be pushed to the left of this text, and the text is going to float to the right here. So refresh, and nice, look at that, simple. So my image now has been taken and put to the left side of my paragraph tag, and then my paragraph tag has automatically floated to the right of it. And because the text is overflowing, that is why you can see that we have some text overflowing down here. That looks good. But I can tell that you're already feeling, no, look at the way the text and the image are so closely put together. What if I wanted to create some space here? Well, fortunately I already showed you how to do that, and so the course has started falling into place. You are just going to add something called padding, and the padding we can do something like 10 pixels. And remember, by the way, if I do that, you can see now the padding has been added all around here. What if I just wanted to add padding only on this side? I don't want to add everywhere else. There is something called padding left. Alright, and now when I refresh this, the padding will only be added to this side, By the way, I'm targeting the image, so it is not left but right. Padding right, because I want to the right of the image. So refresh, and you can see now everything else does not have padding, but the right side has 10 pixels. Okay, let me do 15 here. 15, refresh, and you can see that. Now I don't like this packing here as well. The image is touching the border, but I don't want 15 pixels. It will be too big. How do you do that? Well, remove the padding, right? But then you're going to do another element here, another item here, or to do it in another way. You can define using padding how much padding you want in every section of your browser here, of your element. So we start by top, then right, then bottom, then left. So top, let me say I want 5 pixels to the top, I want 0 pixels to the left. So you can do something like 0 pixels, and then I want maybe 5 to the right, so pixels, and then let me see, no, to the right I don't want 0, I want 15. So this is the 15 that we had. So I want 5 here, then 15 here, then 0 to the bottom. 0 looks good, okay, right to the bottom, and then to the right I don't want 15 but 5. Nice. Refresh this, and you can see now that we have 5 on top. So if I add we start here, so 5, 15. So this 5, if I do 15 or 25, look at what happens here, and nothing is going to happen here. Let me refresh. Let me actually refresh from here. You can see this one has been added, all the others have remained constant. So yeah, that is how you can define CSS and borders or padding. And the same also happens to margin. So when you're using margin or padding, this happens. You can do this if you want to give different spaces or different margins or padding in different sections of your browser. So that looks nice, and I have covered margins and padding, and yes, that's how I want to end this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.